Hi everyone, it's Bethany from Madeline Jean Antiques and Restoration. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to apply clear wax, then liming wax over a painted piece of furniture to give it a really cool coastal beachy vibe to it. So this works best on lighter painted colors. You can also do it over some blacks and grays. That also looks really cool, but I love to use it over like light grays, mint greens, light blues. It really gives it a really cool, fresh look. So this is the coffee table that we're going to do it on. It is a beautiful antique coffee table. It's very ornate, perfect for waxing. It's gonna get into those nooks and crannies and really make those areas pop, okay? So, what are the products I'm going to be using for this tutorial? Well, let's get to it. Okay, you guys, the products I'm going to be using for this tutorial are all from the MAISON BLANCHE line. They carry a whole line of chalk paints, waxes, you name it, they have it, top coats. I'm really in love with this line of products as of late. I'm using it on all of my projects. So what we're going to be using specifically for this coffee table, I'm first going to be applying a coat of clear wax, and it looks like this from them. After I'm done with that, after I apply the clear wax and then I buff it, I'm going to be applying their lime wax. Okay, so you may ask, well, why aren't you just applying white wax? Well, first of all, I don't have any white wax, but I also have found for me, I really love liming wax. I feel it has a darker pigment of white than white wax, so I want my white to be really, really bright white, and I really want it to stick out in all of these crevices here. So the darker white, the darker pigmented white, I find I get with the liming wax. This is just me. This is how I like to roll. So the reason why I'm putting on clear first is I want the liming wax only to be going in the nooks and crannies. I don't want it going all over my painted piece because I don't want my whole painted piece to have like a layer of like a cloudy liming wax over it. I want the liming wax just to go in here. And for me to be able to do that, to manipulate it and to move it around easily, I need to put the clear wax first. So if you've noticed in some of my other videos when I talk about glazing, glazing has like a muddy look, a more dirty look, and then it has more of a clean look. When you're going for more of a clean look, you need to put a base down first. That way when you put your glaze or your other wax on top, you can move it around easier, and then it doesn't change the color of your paint underneath. I hope I'm being clear on that. If you have any questions about that, just drop it in the comment section. Happy to clear that up. May have came across a little confusing. So if you've watched any of my other tutorials with waxing, you're going to need paper plates. I take my wax out of the container, I put it on my paper plate. That way I'm not dirtying my container of nice, clean wax. I also apply my wax with a chip brush. This particular line of wax I am absolutely in love with. I think I just did a tutorial two or three videos back where I applied their darker wax to a black desk. It came out phenomenal, beautiful. That piece sold before I even posted final photos of it. So I'm really impressed with this line of wax, MAISON BLANCHE. They are based out of Texas, but the company it's French, I believe. Oh, I think I looked it up. It means White House. Anybody French out there? Speak French? French culture? I don't know, but I think that's what I read. So I'm putting my clear wax on the plate, and then I'm gonna apply it with a chip brush. And with this particular wax, you let it sit anywhere from 15 minutes to a half hour, and then you buff it off. It goes on super easy with a chip brush, and I'm gonna do that now. And you're gonna see this paint color, this mint color. Another, that's by MAISON BLANCHE as well. Here it is right here. And that mint color is called, in case you're interested, Creme de Menthe. I'm probably butchering this and I apologize. There's the name right there. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous color. I'm really happy with it. So I'm going to start with my clear wax, put it on, and then buff it, and then we're gonna come back when I start to apply the liming wax, because that's what this video is all about. I really want to show you how the white gets in the crevices and how it can really make a pale color really pop. I just love the look of pale colors with white wax or liming wax in ornate areas, and just the way it can make a piece look. So I'm gonna get started with this. I'll put it on a time lapse so I don't bore you anymore. Okay guys, I am all done applying the clear wax. Now on the top here, I'm not applying any wax yet or a top coat because I have something extra special that I'm putting on here, and I can't have any top coat on here, if that makes any sense. So I'm just gonna put some clear wax just around the top frame part of the coffee table and nowhere else, because like I said, I'm putting something really cool in this area. Okay, you guys, I have now applied the clear wax all over this coffee table except that top. You can see there's actually a difference in the color of the paint. When you put on clear wax, it actually darkens your paint just a little bit. It adds a richness to it. Like I've said in my other previous videos, when it comes to waxing, when you put wax over chalk paint is very porous. It's gonna suck up anything that you put on it. So you can see here, the clear wax that I put on, it did darken the paint except for this area here where I didn't put it on. So now we're gonna buff. And I love these little foam bonnets. These are awesome. This is what I use to buff my wax off my pieces. Some people will use a rag. I prefer to use these. I find that it goes quicker, and I also find it's just easier on my arms. I just kind of put my hand right kind of in that bonnet right there, and I just buff back and forth. It's very, very simple. And you'll see when you get the wax off, you'll see it and you're gonna feel it, because the areas where there's still wax, you're gonna feel this kind of drag, kind of hit it. And you'll notice that it's not as smooth, or it's not going as smoothly across the piece of furniture. That's how I know I have some areas where I still have some of the wax not buffed. And you can also look too, you can kind of see the sheen, you can kind of look from the side, and you can see the areas that have not been buffed yet. So the more you do it, the more you'll get a feel of what waxing feels like when you've had it adequately buffed. So I'm going to continue to do this all over this piece of furniture. I'm going to buff the clear wax, and then we're going to add that liming wax into those crevices, and you're just going to see this piece be transformed. All right, you guys, I'm going to keep doing this, and I'll see you back in just a little bit. Guys, let's start to add our liming wax. This is the fun part. Okay, I just want to show you guys a difference between the liming wax, what it looks like, compared to clear wax. So here's what your clear wax looks like. Very light. Now here's your liming wax. Do you see the difference there? Very, very white. It actually looks like whipped cream cheese, which I love. I have massive problems with loving dairy food and breads. Sour cream is my downfall. I love dipping lime potato chips in sour cream. Sounds disgusting, but it is so good to me. And then I can eat like a whole loaf, a whole French baguette by myself, dipping it in like olive oil, balsamic vinaigrette, some oregano in there, fresh Parmesan cheese. Yeah, so good. All right, so anyways, I'm getting hungry, it's dinner time. So I took my lime wax, I put it on my paper plate, there it is. I got a new chip brush, and now I'm gonna put some of this beautiful lime wax into the crevices. Right here is where I want it to go, because I want it to take on that pigment that the lime wax has. It's very, very white. And so we're gonna really, really get it in there. I'm just gonna really kind of just stuff it in there with the chip brush. And then what I'll do is I will wipe away the excess, and then you guys are going to see what it looks like close up when I do this. So doing this is like, it's kind of like glazing. If you guys have glazed, or if you've used a darker wax on top of clear wax, what you're doing is you're just highlighting those ornate areas and just giving them a pop of color. So some people use a dark wax or dark glaze to get into those areas to pop them, or some people, like I'm doing right now, will use a white wax or liming wax to get in there and give it a pop of color, a light color. So it all depends the look that you're going for. Me, just with this color, this light, this mint green, which I'm in love with, I just wanted to keep going with it just being lighter. I could have gone with the dark glaze, but I really wanted to kind of go coastal with this one. All right. And now I'm gonna wipe off the excess with my little foam bonnet. And I can already see it's getting in to the crevices here perfectly, just like I want it to. And the excess is coming off really easily because I put that clear wax on first. So it just makes it easier to wipe things when you've already got kind of a top coat established there. It makes it really easy to pull it away. I'm loving how this is looking already. You probably can't see it from where you're at. It's subtle, but I really like it. So I'm gonna bring the camera close up to show you guys. Okay guys, there it is. There is the liming wax in the crevices there, as opposed to nothing. Do you see that? There's the difference there. So I just love how it's going to, it brings a softness to the piece, and that's what I'm looking for with adding the lime wax in the crevices. And I'll also be doing it along the legs there as well. Okay, you guys, here is 2 coats after I've put on the liming wax. So you can make the liming wax as pronounced as you want. I put on 1 coat, wiped it away, and I thought, you know, I want it a little more dramatic than that. So I applied another coat of the liming wax and I removed it. Now, you can't really get into the crevices with your little blue bonnet here. So I did have to get a rag, and I wiped it around, wrapped it around my finger, and I went in like this to remove the excess liming wax. Again, you can leave as much as you want. You can remove as much as you want. Again, I want this to be kind of like a frosted look. I guess that's the best adjective I can use to describe the liming wax. It really gives like a frosted look to this paint color, which I am just loving right now how this is looking. So I'm gonna keep doing this all the way around this coffee table in those nooks and crannies, and I'll show you guys the finished look. Okay, you guys, check it out. This is what the lime wax looks like over this beautiful mint green color. I really love this. I almost want to dub this look the frosted look, because that's what it looks like to me. Adding a little frosting on top of your painted furniture. I just love how it subtly pops the details. Gives it such a nice, beautiful, clean, upgraded look. Yee! I love when things work out and my vision works. Hey everyone, that concludes my tutorial on how to apply clear wax plus liming wax on top of your painted pieces. So I'm gonna dub this look, I think I am. It's gonna be called the frosted look on your painted pieces of furniture. This works best, like I said, I like it specifically on light pastel colors. I think it just adds another dimension to your pieces instead of your pieces kind of just being flat and just painted. If you have some ornate areas to your pieces, this just adds another level of flair, which I absolutely love. So if you guys like this tutorial, give it a thumbs up, share it. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do. The subscribe button is in the lower right-hand corner, unlike Biscuit, who's up in the crux of my neck. Biscuit. Little silly. You little silly guy. He missed me while I was working down here. Yes, you missed your mama. Oh, that's so sweet. So if you guys want to see final photos of what this coffee table is going to look like, I'm not done yet. I have something planned for the top that's going to be extra, extra special. You guys can find me on Instagram here, Bethany.Youssef, or you can follow me at my Facebook business page, and that's here, Madeline Jean Antiques and Restoration. So go there so you can see the final look of this coffee table. You don't want to miss it. This thing's gonna look just amazing. I'm so excited. We can do the next step. All right, you guys, till next time, Biscuit and I, what do you say, Biscuit? You say toodaloo. Biscuit says bye, guys.